All right. Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai by Hashem Kaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. We're going to title this video, Esau has created a world of empty people starving for attention. Okay. And, this is something that, the spirit hit me last night. I was, on my phone, scrolling through social media, just like everybody else. And, what you notice now when you go on social media is just a bunch of people on there doing a whole bunch of silly shit. It's a bunch of women on there showing off their body. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has this look at me complex. You know what I'm saying? And this is why in real life, interactions between people is not genuine anymore. And you notice that when you talk to regular people out here, the interactions are not really 100% genuine with these people. Everything is like robotic and forced. Okay. And that's because of the society that Esau has created. Esau has created a society of fast food, dopamine hits, right? And people have predicated their self-worth on other people looking at them, right? That's why they have that term called peer pressure, where people feel pressured to fit in. You know what I mean? Nobody's original, right? Even the music, the dancing, none of this shit's original anymore. All right. And that's because of the world that Esau created. Esau created a world where everybody's just starving for attention. Everybody's trying to compete with each other, and that's something that I noticed when I was on, scrolling through social media last night. And I was like, man, this shit is sad, bro. Cause, every bitch on the goddamn, fucking, on the social media feed is just trying to show off her ass. She's just trying to twerk, right? She's doing little silly shit for everybody to look at her. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, God damn, when did life, become this goddamn shallow? You know what I'm saying? Like where people, everybody is just like a social media, fiend, this shit is sad. And then what also, kind of influenced this lesson, I was getting a little drink at this local bar that I go to around the corner, because I could walk to it. It's probably like 5 minutes. And, here and there, not often, I go get a drink or something like that, just to get out the house. And, it was a woman up in the, I guess because it was like a late night thing, so, it wasn't that many people up in there because it's a real small little place. It's not some place that get popping or something like that. But there was a woman up in there and, this woman was just acting obnoxious, right? And she was a decent looking woman too, little Northern Kingdom woman, but she was just obnoxious, yelling, making a whole bunch of noises, acting like a fucking 6-year-old, man. And she's a grown ass woman, right? And I was getting annoyed, and I was like, what the fuck is her problem? But then I looked around the room and she was doing all of that shit, right? Because it was like, a couple dudes up in there that was cheering her on. You know how these beta bitch ass niggas, these beta male punk ass niggas be, they cheer on women's, what can I say? Women's irresponsibility. You know what I'm saying? These men out here cheer on women's bridal lust. So she's just acting a goddamn fool. And I'm like, what's this motherfucker's problem? And then I put it together. I was like, oh, she's doing all of this, okay, for the attention. You see? So, it brought me to this point to where it's like, man, people are willing to make a fool out of themselves just for some sort of attention. And that's because these people are empty. You see, they don't have the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, And when I was in the world, and I'm pretty sure some of you brothers and sisters, when you was in the world, you would find yourself kind of doing the same shit, doing little quirky, little dumb shit, so that way other people can look at you, and you can get praise and admiration. You see? But that's a shallow way of thinking. All right? That's a shallow way of thinking. And, it's really rooted in a deep insecurity that the devil has sowed inside of these people. All right? So, I just wanted to make this lesson real quick. Okay? Because, this was something that I noticed last night. All right? That, this world is just full of empty people starving for attention. All right? And this is why the Lord has to kind of, hit the reset button. All right. Because, no genuine connection can come out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a robotic interaction. Everybody's looking around when you say something to them, trying to see what other people think. A very shallow, insincere world we live in. Okay. And this is what the devil did. This is what Esau did. And Esau created a world like this so that way people will be too stupid, okay, to know what's really going on. All right. So let me get some scriptures, man. This is Isaiah 60:2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." You see, and you could tell the people are in gross darkness, man. You know what I mean? I mean, you got niggas that are on social media, okay, bragging about guns and bragging about killing somebody just so that, he could look in the comments, all right, and, people could, give him admiration. Hey, that's what's up, my nigga, ride on your enemies, my nigga, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? These people are in gross darkness, man, all right? These people are in a serious gross darkness, man, all right? And every day I go outside, I'm reminded of that psychotic behavior, man. Okay? This is why Esau has to be taken out of the power seat, man. This is what Esau, put forth. Esau put these, he put this strategy forth through different operations, through different CIA-based operations, feminism. Feminism, is what got a lot of these women and these men fucked up and screwed up in their mind. Okay, to where they think everything's a joke. All right. Everybody's trying to outcompete one another. Okay. These people are in gross darkness, man. All right. And they're void of the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's what happens when you become void of the knowledge, man. All right. It says, "But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." Okay. Let me get this next one. Psalm 82:5. It says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness." All right. And it's a damn shame that, here it is. We're at the end. Okay. This is the end. All right. The Lord is putting the final touches on Babylon the Great. All right. And, the kingdom of heaven is getting ready to be ushered in. Okay. And this kingdom is getting ready to fall. You know what I'm saying? And it's a goddamn shame that people are so lost that the only thing they could think about is they goddamn social media clicks. Meanwhile, the world around them is falling apart. But that was the strategy of Esau Edom. That's the strategy of the devil, man. Okay? To get people so goddamn caught up in bread and circus and stupid, dumb shit that they wouldn't even notice the world collapsing around them, man. All right? This is why it says they don't understand. They walk on in darkness. Okay? We can't be in darkness like these people. These people are sick. All right? And then you brothers, When you be out, you know what I'm talking about. There's something wrong with these people, man. All right, it makes you kind of just want to stay inside, or you got a job, you go to work, go to the gym, go handle your affairs, and come right back home. It's almost like it ain't no point in trying to be out on the scene and get to know these people. All right, these people don't have a clue what's going on, man. All right, it says all the foundations of the earth are out of course. Yeah, and that's because Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. What else would the devil do? All right, if he sat in the power seat, he would destroy the world. Esau, Edom. Okay, so Esau, Edom has funneled billions of dollars to keep these people stupid, man. This is why, when we'll look at something as simple as, TV commercials. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Enchantments, right? You got 7 minutes, and within 7 minutes, 24 different commercials are just playing simultaneously, 30 seconds each type shit. Hitting you with enchantment after enchantment after enchantment. All of these movies, all of this goddamn degenerate music, right? You see why these people turned out like this, man. You see why, now women are just 100% relentless on showing off their body and everybody looking at them. And she's like this half naked stripper on online, okay, just for 30 comments. Bitch show her ass, pop her titties out for 30 people to comment on that video. Her life is worth 30 comments, man. Okay? Yahweh Shimon Shai has to put a stop to this shit, man. All right? Because it's shallow and it's distasteful and it's nasty, man. All right? It's ridiculous what these people would do, okay, just for somebody to look at them. All right? An empty world of people starving for attention. All right? And when you have that mentality, you can't take nothing serious. And this is why when the prophets are presented to the world, people don't take it serious. All right? People don't see the urgency in the message. All right? They don't. They don't see the urgency in this message, man. All right? They just think that we just some crazy niggas out there, just speaking hoopla. Okay? When really we speaking the most, we talking about the most realest topics, all right, that could be touched on in these times, man. But people are so enamored with themselves. All they can think about is themselves, man. That's all they can think about. They can't lock in on anything serious. They can't lock in on anything spiritual. Too many enchantments in their head. Okay? Hey, Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, that the Lord has removed us from this cesspool of madness that we see going on out here, man. All right? When I came into the truth 8 years ago, right? My journey in this truth, right? Because hey, Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, I'm almost a decade in, right? Almost, But my journey in this truth, okay, I've watched this world just decay worse and worse and worse. All right. I remember, 10, 15 years ago, man, it wasn't this bad. Right. It wasn't this bad. Okay. You could actually go to the mall. All right. And chop it up with somebody. You could get you a new girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You go to the mall and go talk to a new woman. You know what I mean? And get her number and y'all link up that same week or something like that. Now, you try to go talk to a woman. It's all of these goddamn weirdo fucking narratives in her mind. Oh, you might be a creep. He might do this. And then, you know what I'm saying? You brothers know what I'm talking about. It's hard to connect with a lot of these women, man. They're bugged out of their mind. Okay? Too many beta males in front of their face. Too much access to their goddamn phone to where they could just, they could just look at their goddamn Instagram and look at how many people admire them, and then that gives them a boost for the week, and now they walking around proud, right? It's a bunch of silly ass shit going on, man. All right, bunch of fucking folly, man. And I'm fucking sick of it, man. All right. But hey, we got to be patient and wait on the Lord to deliver us from this shit. Because this is one of the things, me personally, this is one of the things that just pissed me off the most. Folly, the folly of the world. All right. Like that goofy shit that just happened last week. That nigga Adam 22, all right, was in a boxing ring with that goofy nigga Jason Love, the same nigga that Adam 22 let pop his wife. They in a boxing ring fighting for charity. Like, what the fuck is going on now, man? All right? Everything is starting to get polluted, man. All right? To where it's not even making sense anymore. Okay? This shit is fucking a Cartoon Network now, man. All right? With these empty ass people starving for attention. Niggas is doing anything to just be on. That's a weak ass, punk ass spirit, man. All right? And that's what Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is coming to destroy, man. All right? And the Lord is going to set up a real standard in the earth, man. Real men, okay? Sincere relationships, real interactions, man. Okay? That's what I miss. All right? I don't know what this weird ass shit is now, man. Okay? I don't know what this weird ass shit is now, man. All right? But I know why it happened. Okay? It happened because the devil, man. Esau, Edom. This was all a part of his design. Okay? This is Psalms 14:3. It says, they are all going aside. They are all together become filthy. Yeah. People's minds is polluted, man. All right? People are polluted out here, man. All right? And I see it on a day-to-day basis. That's why, when I get with the Akim, the days that we hold camp, the days that we get together, it's like, oh, man, finally, I get to be around normal people. You know what I'm saying? Like, finally, normal people, man. Because everybody else is filthy in this world, man. It's hard, you can't really connect with these people. You might try to have a decent conversation with somebody, then it starts getting into wicked shit. He starts telling you how he like bacon wrapped hot dogs and, how he's committing adultery or something like that. It always gets wicked. That's because everybody out here is filthy, man. All right. It says, there is none that doeth good, no, not one. And you know what? And this is what Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai said when you read in the book of Genesis. Okay, this was the Lord's mentality before he flooded the earth with water. Okay, before the Lord had to hit that reset button. And we're approaching, all right, a time again where the Lord is getting ready to hit that reset button, but this time with fire. The Lord is going to burn these goddamn retarded people up, man. And hey, Tawadi Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. Okay, straight up. All right, this is why it says in the book of Jeremiah, pray not for these people, man. Okay, when we see these people getting grabbed up by ICE, all right, when we see these people's calamity coming upon them, me personally, I don't feel sorry, because it's time for these people to go, man. They're hogging up the resources, they're hogging up the earth. This shit need to be reinvented, man. All right, so things can make sense again. This world doesn't make sense. All right, every day you wake up and it's like, man, am I losing my mind here? And it's not that we're losing our mind. We're not losing our mind, brothers. We're in our right mind. But when you're around a lot of other people in this world that have lost their fucking mind and they're running around acting like this shit is normal, these things that they doing is normal, it makes you question your sanity. Okay? It makes you question your sanity. Now, we see how Lot felt in Sodom and Gomorrah. He was the only righteous man in Sodom and Gomorrah. Imagine being around them crazy motherfuckers, them homosexual faggot motherfuckers, man. We're back in the same lot today. You know what I mean? Bunch of violent homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? You got these people out here, they, them, my pronouns is, man, shut the fuck up, man. Okay? You're a fucking weirdo, man. All right? And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai needs to restart this bullshit, man. Okay, so things can make sense, like I keep saying. Psalm 14:4, it says, have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? And yeah, these people don't have no knowledge. Hosea 4:6, especially 2/3 of our people. Okay, two-thirds of our people, okay, are supposed to, exude knowledge. All right, we're supposed to be the standard of the earth of what knowledge is. All right. But our people have turned away the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. All right. They've become a full American Babylonian. All right. And now you got women that are, unrestrained. Okay. Doing whatever the hell they want. I'm telling you, man, when I was in that little spot last night, man, oh, man, this little broad, man, she was just acting a goddamn fool. And the crazy thing is she worked there. Okay. She's one of the bartenders that worked there. You know what I mean? And usually when I come in, because I go there from time to time, like I said. So when I go up in there, usually she's always cool. She's always laid back because she's at work. But I guess, when I seen her outside of that environment and who she really was a goddamn demon. Starving for attention, making a whole bunch of noise. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. This world is just full of shallow people, man. People with almost no soul. Nobody cares about anything real. Everybody's conversation is just fully set on just dumb folly. Hey, that's why, the Lord is getting ready to, that's why the Lord is speeding this shit up, okay, and bringing the devil upon these people. Because what good are they, man? Really, when you think about it, what good are these people, man? What are they doing, right? What are they doing? They're just hoping for a goddamn Super Bowl Sunday, right? They're just hoping from bread. They go from one bread and circus to the next all their whole life. What good are they, man? All right? I see, why the elites, right? The elites of this world look at these people as cattle. While the elites of this world look at these people as insignificant, right? And of no use. I can see why. Because it's like, look what they do. Look at their mentality. Their mentality is filthy. Okay? I see why the Lord has to exterminate this and restart. Okay? So really, hey, we should be giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai that prophecy is hastening, all right? And that the Lord is going to rid the earth of these people, man. All right? Because these people, they're going to come back. 2/3 of our people that are in this goddamn stupid state, they're going to come back, man. All right? They're going to come back. They're going to be reborn into the kingdom with their right mind. And I would rather see that than what the fuck I'm looking at now, man. Okay? This shit is ridiculous. It says, who eat up my people as they eat bread and call not upon the Lord. These people are not calling upon the Lord. That's why they stupid like this, man. Let me get this last scripture right here. This is Isaiah 4:4. It says, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. You see? And that's going to come through thermonuclear destruction. That's how the Lord is going to hit the reset button on this, man. All right? And you see people online complaining about what I'm talking about. How the world is just shallow, how people, they don't have any genuine intentions. Okay? This is because of what Esau Edom has done. All right. All of his operations and his schemes. All right. Esau Edom has made these people docile and degenerate so that way he can have his way with them. Right. Esau Edom wanted these people to get this dumb. Right. Because Esau knew in the latter days he was going to enforce the RFID micro technology, the mark of the beast. And people need to be a certain level of docile and stupid to take that. And you know what? You can see it, right? Now that we're, approaching that day, you can see that these people are ripe for the picking, man. All right? You can see that people are ready to receive the MOTB because of how polluted their minds are, man. Okay? So I just wanted to make this video, just kind of like a spiritual rant. It was a topic that I had, that came to me, yesterday, So, I just wanted to make this video because I'm pretty sure there's brothers and there's sisters out there that feel the exact same way that I do. But remember, man, there's nothing wrong with us, man. We got the light, okay? We're with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, all right? There ain't nothing wrong with us, man. Don't let this world, try to convince you that because we're not, we don't run to the same excess of riot like the scriptures say. We're not, we're not trying to fit in with these people, right? Don't let this world convince you that something's wrong with us, because your family will do that shit, right? Associates that you know in the world to do that shit. They all try to get you locked into this goddamn psychotic fucking behavior that they got going on and that they have deemed normal. And it's not normal. It's not. Because when you go into the scriptures, the Lord gave us the blueprint on how to conduct ourselves, man. Especially in the latter days, to be circumspect, to be spiritual. Okay? These people ain't about that at all. Everything with these people is just folly. All right? So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'll give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, Ba'ashim Kahakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles, elders, great millstone. To the next one. Shalom. Shalom.